Earth, our blue marble teeming with life. Lush forests, vast oceans, and icy landscapes coexist under a sky painted with the colors of day and night. But what if this balance was broken? Imagine a world where the sun dominates one side while the other is in eternal darkness. This isn't just science fiction, it's a glimpse into a possible future of a tidally locked Earth. Our planet's rotation would slow until one hemisphere perpetually faces the sun. The consequences would be profound, from scorching heat to freezing cold. Join us as we unravel the mysteries of a tidally locked Earth. The vast expanse of space is a mesmerizing ballet of celestial objects. Planets orbit stars, moons circle planets, and in this cosmic waltz, tidal locking can occur. The most familiar example is our moon, always showing the same face to Earth. But what if Earth were to become tidally locked to the sun? Imagine a world where the sun never sets on one side, casting eternal day, while the other side is cloaked in perpetual night. This division would create two distinct hemispheres with vastly different environments. The delicate balance of Earth's ecosystems would be thrown into disarray, forcing life to adapt or perish. To understand the implications of Earth becoming tidally locked, we must first look at the Moon. The Moon's rotation period matches its orbital period around Earth, showing us the same face. This synchronization is due to gravitational forces creating tidal bulges. These bulges exert a torque on the Moon's rotation, slowing it down over millions of years. This process, known as tidal locking, resulted in the Moon permanently showing only one face to Earth. The same forces are subtly influencing Earth's rotation. The Sun's gravitational pull creates tidal bulges on Earth, causing it to gradually slow down. Our planet spins gracefully, giving us day and night. But what if this rotation were to slow, eventually coming to a standstill? The Sun's gravitational pull creates tidal bulges on Earth, causing a slight drag on its rotation. This slowdown is incredibly gradual, estimated at about 1.8 milliseconds per century. At this rate, it would take billions of years for Earth to become tidally locked to the Sun. However, the forces at play are real and ongoing. The implications of such a shift would be profound for life on Earth. Imagine Earth's rotation has ceased and our planet is now tidally locked to the Sun. One side, bathed in perpetual daylight, would experience soaring temperatures. Meanwhile, the other hemisphere faces eternal night, transforming into a frigid wasteland. The transition zone between these extremes, a narrow band encircling the planet, would become a region of perpetual twilight. Here, in this delicate balance between light and darkness, might lie the last vestiges of Earth's familiar ecosystems. Life would face unprecedented challenges, but it might find ways to adapt. This twilight zone could be a refuge for the remaining life on Earth. On the sun-facing side of a tidally locked Earth, the relentless heat would be unlike anything our planet has ever experienced. Temperatures would soar to unimaginable heights, making even the hottest summer day on our current Earth feel like a cool breeze. The very air would shimmer with heat, a tangible wall of energy pressing down on the scorched landscape. The lush forests and fertile plains would be replaced by vast, arid deserts. The once familiar landmarks of our planet would be warped beyond recognition. The concept of habitable would take on a whole new meaning. Life would have to adapt to survive in this unforgiving environment. Under the relentless glare of the sun, Earth's oceans would transform into something both alien and terrifying. Evaporation would go into overdrive, pulling moisture from the seas at an alarming rate. The water would steam and hiss as it evaporated, leaving behind vast salt flats. The air itself would be thick with humidity, a suffocating blanket of heat and moisture. The concentration of salt and minerals in the remaining water would increase dramatically. The once teeming ecosystems of the seas would be pushed to their limits. Life would face unprecedented challenges in this changing environment. With the oceans receding and the sun blazing relentlessly, The dayside of a tidally locked Earth would transform into a landscape more akin to a fictional hellscape. The once fertile continents would be consumed by vast, sprawling deserts. The air is thick with dust and grit, whipped into a frenzy by winds. The only movement comes from the occasional dust devil, a swirling vortex of sand and debris. The very rocks themselves would bear the scars of this extreme environment. Exposed to constant heat and intense ultraviolet radiation, they would crack and crumble. The landscape would be a testament to the raw power of the sun. In this scorching hellscape, the very existence of life would be called into question. The vast majority of plant and animal species would be unable to survive the extreme heat. The lush forests would be reduced to charred remnants, their ecosystems replaced by barren wastelands. The animals would either succumb to the heat or be forced to migrate. Yet life has a remarkable ability to adapt. Some organisms might find ways to eke out an existence in this scorched world. Extremophiles could hold the key to understanding how life might persist on a tidally locked Earth. As we journey across the stark divide of a tidally locked Earth, we enter a realm of perpetual darkness. Here, on the side perpetually facing away from the sun, an endless, frigid night takes hold. The very air would be heavy with a stillness unknown to the world we know. The familiar constellations of our night sky would shine perpetually. Imagine a world where the sun is but a distant memory. This is the reality of the night side, a world locked in a perpetual state of winter. The very concept of seasons would be alien here. On the night side of a tidally locked Earth, the temperatures would plummet to unimaginable depths. Without the sun's warmth, the land would radiate heat out into space, causing temperatures to plummet far below freezing. We're talking about temperatures so low that even the air itself would begin to freeze. Rivers and lakes would freeze solid, their surfaces transformed into vast shimmering expanses of ice. The ground itself would freeze to incredible depths, forming a layer of permafrost. Life would face unprecedented challenges in this frozen world. The oceans of the night side would transform into vast, unbroken sheets of ice. The extreme cold would cause the ocean's surface to freeze rapidly, forming a thick layer of ice. Eventually, the entire ocean could freeze solid, its depths locked away beneath a miles-thick shell of ice. This frozen expanse would reflect the faint starlight, creating a dazzling spectacle. The creatures that once called these oceans home would face a desperate struggle for survival. Some might find refuge in pockets of liquid water deep beneath the ice. Others might evolve incredible adaptations to survive in this frigid, lightless world. While the night side might seem like a barren wasteland, life finds a way. Deep beneath the frozen oceans, ecosystems could thrive around hydrothermal vents. These vents would create oases of warmth and nutrients in the frigid depths. On the surface, animals adapted to extreme cold might find ways to survive. They might evolve thicker fur, slower metabolisms, and unique hunting strategies. Plants, too, might find a foothold, with species adapted to low light and freezing temperatures. Life would persist in the most unexpected of places. Between the scorching day side and the icy night side lies a region of perpetual twilight. This narrow band represents a zone of potential habitability. Imagine a world where the sun never sets, casting long shadows across a landscape forever bathed in twilight. Here, temperatures would be moderate, perhaps even pleasant. This region would experience a unique set of conditions unlike anything found on our current Earth. The constant low-angled sunlight would create a world of muted colors. The air would likely be calm, with the extreme temperature differences largely absent. The Twilight Zone would be a region of delicate balance. Its existence depends on a complex interplay of atmospheric and oceanic currents. Imagine a giant conveyor belt constantly circulating air and water around the planet. Hot, dry air from the day side would flow towards the Twilight Zone. Cold, dense air from the night side would creep towards the Twilight Zone. The oceans would play a crucial role in maintaining this balance. Warm currents from the day side and cold currents from the night side would help moderate temperatures. Within this narrow band of perpetual twilight, life could find a sanctuary. The moderate temperatures and constant, albeit dim, sunlight would provide a haven for a wide variety of organisms, both familiar and strange. Imagine a world where plants have adapted to thrive in the dim light, their leaves a mosaic of deep greens and purples, capturing every photon of precious sunlight. Forests, unlike any we know, might flourish in the Twilight Zone. Their canopies a dense tangle of branches reaching towards the eternally low-hanging sun. Animals too would adapt to this unique environment, their senses honed to navigate a world of muted light and constant shadows. Creatures with large eyes adapted to see in the dim light might stalk the undergrowth, while others might develop bioluminescent markings, their bodies glowing with an eerie light. The oceans of the Twilight Zone too could teem with life, with creatures adapted to the unique conditions of this perpetually dim yet surprisingly vibrant world. If Earth were to become tidally locked, the Twilight Zone would become humanity's last refuge. This narrow strip would be the most hospitable place where humans could rebuild civilization. Imagine cities built in the Twilight Zone, designed to capture dim sunlight and withstand winds. Life here would be unlike anything we know. The dimness would influence culture and society, leading to a new appreciation for light and time. Surviving would foster ingenuity and cooperation as humans overcome new obstacles. Limited space and resources would lead to conflict. The struggle would test human resilience, forcing us to confront our place in the universe. In the aftermath of Earth's tidal locking, the atmosphere transforms into a tempestuous beast. The delicate balance of our climate shatters, replaced by chaotic extremes and violent phenomena. Imagine winds howling with unimaginable fury and storms raging with unprecedented intensity. This is the reality of a tidally locked Earth. The relentless flow of air from the hot day side to the cold night side wouldn't be a gentle breeze. Instead, it would manifest as colossal, planet-spanning wind systems, their paths dictated by the Coriolis effect. These winds would reshape the planet, carving new landscapes and unleashing meteorological mayhem. Imagine standing on the edge of the Twilight Zone, the wind whipping at your back with hurricane-force fury. The sky is a swirling maelstrom of dark clouds, lit from within by flashes of lightning. This is a world where superstorms become the norm. These storms wouldn't be confined to the oceans. The dry, dusty air of the dayside would give rise to colossal dust storms, blotting out the sun. These storms would scour the land, stripping away topsoil and piling up massive dunes of sand. Over time, relentless winds and superstorms reshape the planet, carving new features and erasing old ones. The Twilight Zone wouldn't be immune to these changes. It would be the most dynamic and unpredictable region. Imagine mountains ground down by wind-blown sand, their peaks reduced to rubble. Vast plains stripped of vegetation, transformed into barren deserts. This is the power of a tidally locked atmosphere, reshaping the planet it envelops. Even the coastlines wouldn't be spared, storm surges and waves reshaping the boundaries between land and sea. Islands vanish, new landmasses rise, a world in perpetual flux, a testament to nature's raw power. The natural world is a testament to the power of adaptation. Faced with changing environments, life has an uncanny ability to find a way, to evolve and persist even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges. A tidally locked Earth, for all its extremes, would be no exception. While the familiar ecosystems of our current planet would be thrown into disarray, life in some form would likely find a way to endure. Imagine a world where the very definition of habitable has changed. The scorching heat of the dayside, the frigid cold of the nightside, and the perpetual twilight of the in-between zone would each present unique challenges and opportunities for life to adapt and evolve. The process of natural selection, the driving force behind evolution, would favor organisms with traits that enhance their survival and reproduction in these new environments. Over countless generations, species would undergo remarkable transformations, their bodies and behaviors sculpted by the unrelenting pressures of a tidally locked world. Section 2, the evolution of extremes. On the scorched day side, life must be remarkably resilient. Plants with deep roots might thrive in the searing heat. Animals with reflective scales or light-colored fur could beat the heat. Desert creatures adapt to conserve moisture and slow metabolisms. Nocturnal lifestyles emerge when the sun dips below the horizon. On the frigid night side, life takes on a different form. Thick fur or blubber conserves body heat. Hibernation and slowed metabolisms are survival strategies. In the frozen oceans, life appears almost alien. Bioluminescent creatures thrive in the dark depths. Hydrothermal vents support diverse communities in extreme conditions. Section 3, a new kind of humanity. Could humans survive on a tidally locked Earth? Our species depends on stable conditions. But if any species could adapt, it would be us. Imagine cities in the Twilight Zone using solar and wind power. Vertical farms would sustain us. Gene editing might help us adapt. We could explore extremes with new technologies. Cooperation and resourcefulness would be key. The human spirit might find a way to thrive. Section 1. A planet transformed. The prospect of Earth becoming tidally locked to the sun might seem fantastical, yet cosmic forces shape our planet's destiny. Fast forward eons, Earth would be transformed, familiar yet alien, continents reshaped, oceans altered, life adapting. Section 2. A glimpse into the future. Contemplating a tidally locked Earth might seem speculative, but it holds valuable lessons for today. It underscores the power of natural forces and the resilience of life. It encourages us to appreciate the delicate balance that makes life possible. As we explore the cosmos, let us protect our planet and ensure life thrives.